Did you know that a child remains invisible if not registered at birth? Birth registration is the first line of protection a child gets. Good evening. Welcome to Sound Health on Lagos Television. I am Olasumbo Modupe. We bring you Sound Health every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. and we try to enlighten members of the public on trending health issues from around the world. Today we are looking at the essence of child birth registration. Why do we need to register our child? Stay tuned. The conversation begins after this break. The program is still Sound Health on Lagos Television. Joining us via Zoom this evening to share his expertise on the essence of child birth registration is Denis Onoise, Child Protection Specialist with UNICEF Nigeria. And he is going to tell us what we need to know about child birth registration. Good evening, Denis, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me.
All right, Denis, tell us, most people regard child birth registration as just something ordinary. They do not attach any importance to this process or this vital documentation. What exactly is child birth registration?
Thank you very much. This is a kind of question we get from time to time, and it's good you are asking again. Birth registration is very important, for everybody, especially a newborn child. That is the first, way we identify someone as a citizen of a society, as a member of a community where that person is born. So immediately you are born, you are supposed to be identified and given a number, and register to know that you are there, you are in that community. And then, so if government is planning anything, you are considered. If government is planning to provide schools for a particular community that have maybe 3,000 people or 5,000 people, the government will know how many secondary schools to be provided for that particular environment, for that particular community. So to that extent, this is very important for everybody because it's the first way that you identify as a member of your community, as a member of environment where you find yourself. In some communities, it's so important that even when children are supposed to go to school to register, that their birth certificate is asked for, because government knows that it is very important. It is the first way they identify who is who in a particular community and all of that. So people are asked, where the parents are asked, where is the birth certificate of this child? So if you don't have, go back and ensure that you come with it. So in Nigeria, for example, it has gotten to a point that we are asking government actually to make sure that even within schools or places close to schools where children are going to be registered, registered for education initially, that birth registration facilities is provided so that if someone comes and says, this is my child, I want this child to go to this school, and you ask, whether there is a birth certificate and the person says no, so that person can be directed, to a nearby place and a nearby facility where that child can be registered. But beyond that, before we get to that, we have said that these facilities are primary healthcare centers. Everywhere in Lagos State, for example, we have close to about 300 something primary healthcare centers, all scattered all over the local government centers. In the northern part of the country, even in palaces, where you have Liangwa, or what you call a band here, so birth registration facilities are close by. If people give birth, they can be directed to go there. Within hospitals, there are places where people can also register and get certificate before they take their child out when they give birth. And we know that in some community, in some places, people still don't go to hospitals. Some women may not be giving birth in the hospital. Such people can also be attended to by traditional birth attendants and then issue a certificate.
All right, okay, before we look at those categories of people that do not have access to birth registration, why would anyone not want to register his or her child? Have you seen cases like that in your years of advocacy?
Yeah, so again, it has to do with awareness. It has to do with understanding of what it is. I mean, some people will tell you, but I mean, I wasn't registered when I started, but I'm now a graduate. I finished from secondary school. So what is really important? Why are they dragging this? So we are saying, I mean, society is changing. Even those people who were born and not registered, they go to the National Population Commission to do attestation, to be given a certificate to say, when they were born, they were not registered. And so that is why they are now 20, 30, and they are going back for this registration. I mean, people go to embassies, for example, and they are asked for birth registration before they can travel, before they will be given visa. So we considering all of this, we are saying people should be told what it is, what are the benefits of birth registration. So the question you ask is possible that people may not really know what the benefits are, why it's so important for their children to be registered, and that is why they do not consider it important to say, we want to actually register a child before the child grows to an adult, because we are saying there are many places where the child can be asked for this certificate. It helps government to know the child is there. It helps government to plan. It helps government to plan even number of, beyond education, help government to plan number of hospitals that can be provided for people to be registered. So your question, to answer your question, it is as a result of not having the awareness of what it is and the benefit of what it is.
Okay, what plans do you have for hard-to-reach societies or communities, those that still do not have access to this registration?
Yeah, as far as the Nigerian Constitution is concerned, I mean, the National Population Commission and ACON have the responsibility to take up this work. What we do as UNICEF is basically to provide technical support and then sometimes also support with funding. So this year we are focusing more on the registration of under one. Anybody giving birth to up to the person is 12 months old. We want to be sure that the person is registered. In Lagos State, for example, our target for this year is 545,000. And we in each of the local government, we have trained registrars. They have been provided with tablets. They have been provided with all they need to be able to do registration and issue certificate as soon as children are registered. So for this category of people, we want to make sure that they have fully registered between now and December. We should have registration that tells us that these people have been registered. We've been on it since January, We recently just finished training in each of the local governments in Lagos State, and then registration start from next week, early next week. They will start registration, and then they have only 2 months to do registration. They will be going to communities. They will be going to different places in the state to ensure that people are registered. And there is no place where we don't have those who are trained. So talking about how to reach community, for example, there are people who are going to go there to ensure that children are registered all over the place.
All right. Many people say they do not register because of the cost attached to registration of these children. Is childbirth registration actually free?
So people are not expected to make payment. People are not supposed to contribute anything to have their children register. It's free of charge. The people going around have been told that no money should be collected from anybody. We are actually begging parents to avail themselves of this opportunity and ensure that their children are registered. Nobody is going to be charged anything at all. If anybody comes to you and say you have to pay something to register your child, then you raise that complaint with somebody who can inform the National Population Commission or ADMON to know that your child is not going to be registered because you are not ready to pay money. In fact, it is parents we are actually appealing to bring out their children to be registered, and so we say that nothing should discourage them from bringing out their children to be registered and issue certificate.
All right. Is there a provision for registration of children with special needs? Are they also considered under this timeline?
For this?
Yes, for children with special needs, are there provisions for them during this timeline?
Everybody who is a child, there is no consideration of this person is a child with disability. This person is this child, and we cannot. The moment you are giving birth to, like I said, from 0 to 12 months old, that person should be registered. That person should be brought out to be registered by the parents, by guardians. If you give birth and then the child is not, at least for children who are even 12 months old, I do not think that they will have any reason to go stay with some other person. So we are feeling strongly to community leaders, even to religious leaders also, to help educate and inform members of their communities. Nothing will stop anybody from being registered. There is nothing. We ask that all children should be registered. So there shouldn't be any excuse that because this person is disabled, that is why the person is not brought out for registration. It is meant for every child, and that understanding should be gotten by everybody, every community members, to be sure that everybody is registered.
Okay, earlier in your response, you mentioned that some people that did not register earlier in life got an affidavit. What is the difference between affidavit, attestation, and birth registration? Should one be scrapped because of childbirth registration?
So the Nigerian Constitution states, for example, that I think from 1992 that anybody who is giving birth to from that time should be able to go to any registration facility, get registered, and get certificate immediately. But if you were born before that time, before 1992 also, you go to the National Population Commission to do attestation, and then you swear an affidavit, and then a certificate is given. So you see people, for example, with the attestation, of their birth, but it's not like a certificate that is issued to any child, any individual that is giving birth to in the last maybe 10 years, in the last 5 years, in the last 1 month or so. So a certificate for that is issued is different from the attestation letter. So I think it is because of the process, and you need to go to the National Population Commission to do this before you are getting. Once you get the attestation, it's more or less the same thing with the certificate you are issued ordinarily, but it's to show that you were not registered, at that time when you were born, and now that you have recognized and you realize the importance of this registration, you are willing to do it, and so you are issued this registration, and affidavit is formed, and a certificate is given to you.
All right, what is the cost of not registering your child at birth? To viewers at home who are still hesitant.
Like I said, I think it's basically about not knowing the importance of birth registration. There is nothing that should stop anybody from a child not being registered. Some people have complained, we don't have a registration center near us, and we tell them that there is a local government in that area. There are primary healthcare center in that area. In Lagos State, for example, there is nowhere where you will say you go to and you don't have a primary healthcare center close by, so it's only one day, and it's not going to take more than 30 minutes, so even if you have to travel, even if you have to walk to where you want to be registered. But for the focus of this period, for what the registration we are doing this period, it will not take them more than like 5 minutes if you bring your child out when these people are going around. It will not take them up to 5 minutes to register a child. They use they have tablets that they are using. By the way, they are no longer doing manual registration, which require previously signing of papers and asking for names of the child, parent, and we are doing it on paper. It was manual, but in the last 3 years, it has been digitized, and the people doing the registration do it faster. And so that is what we want the parents to also take note of. So there is nothing at all that should discourage anybody from not being able to register his or her child.
All right, your final words as we wrap up now.
So the final point to make is to encourage all Lagosians, wherever any community at all, that people may not have heard about our plan to ensure that 545,000 children are registered in Lagos this year. Should please help in conveying this information. As journalists, media practitioners, we also encourage you as much as possible to also help us to disseminate this information and let many more community members get to know about it and use the opportunity to register their children.
All right, use this opportunity to register your children. Childbirth registration, it is not just any registration, it is your child's legal identity. Denis Onoise, Child Protection Specialist with UNICEF Nigeria. Thank you so much for your time and expertise on the essence of childbirth registration.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, Sound Health continues with trending health report from around the world. Please stay tuned. The program is still Sound Health on Lagos Television, and we have been discussing the essence of childbirth registration. Birth registration is not just any registration. It gives a child a legal identity. It is your duty to register your child, and do not deny your child of access to all these basic amenities. This is where we say thank you on today's episode of Sound Health. For comments and inquiries, or you have topics you'd like us to treat, please send SMS to 0035 826603 or follow us on social media at Lagos Television, #Sound Health. A sound health is a sound mind. Make healthy living your choice.